So let's do some basic flight. You know, if this is the first time you've ever flown a quad, obviously you want to be able to get it up and hover it, and just practice doing that. Come up to a hover, can you hold it, and then can you ease it back down? There's a reason why 2 of the arms are red and 2 of the props are orange. That's the front of this aircraft, and it's pretty easy to control it if you keep, you know, so you're standing behind it and those arms and props are away from you. Now you just move the stick and it's going to follow whatever you tell it to do. If you spin it around, it's facing you. Most new pilots find that pretty challenging. It's a little confusing to control it then. So for starting out, you probably want to keep the aircraft so that the orange props and red arms are away from you. So let's bring it up to a hover again. And it's just easier to control. Keep those orange props away from you. If I want the aircraft to slip to the right, I just give it a little bit of right stick. If I want it to come back to the left, a little bit of left stick. The stick you probably won't use too much as a beginner is the rudder. And that makes the aircraft, you see it starts to turn around its center axis, kind of pirouettes around. Another good early flight maneuver that you might want to practice is I've turned the aircraft so it's sideways to me now, and I just want to try to fly it in a nice, slow, controlled circle, and kind of like an oval racetrack pattern. That requires me to use the rudder to aim the front of the aircraft forward, and then I'm also modulating the throttle to try and hold altitude, and the wind will make you balloon a little bit like that.
Now that we've covered the flying basics for a copter, now you're probably interested to know about shooting video, especially with a GoPro camera from one of these things. So John, tell us what we ought to need to know.
Well, just about any time you mentioned using a multi-copter to shoot video with a GoPro, probably one of the first aircraft that's going to come to mind is a DJI Phantom, mainly because they were the first ones to release a product that had everything you needed in the box. You could buy this and get in the air. Of course, the camera wasn't included. So this is your just plain Jane run-of-the-mill Phantom. I did replace the plastic props that it comes with these little better grade carbon fiber props. This is the camera mount that it comes with. You can put a GoPro in that, and it hard attaches to the bottom of the DJI. You're going to need some good software post-production though if you use this to get your footage, because it's going to be all bouncy and jerky, and that's where ProDRENALIN will really clean it up. I've played with that a lot. But if you want to take your aerial photography to the next level using a Phantom, then you can put a 2-axis gimbal on it. I've got this one hotted up. DJI makes their own gimbal, and it costs about the same as the Phantom. It's upwards of $700. It's a great gimbal. But if you don't have pockets that deep, there's a host of other more inexpensive gimbals. This is a Taro gimbal, and it's tunable. You can hook it up to the computer and tweak both of the PIDs to your heart's content. This one's worked fantastic for me out of the box. It's been jitter-free. I love it. I just plug it in and go. But you can see what it does. You know, it just holds that GoPro level no matter what the aircraft's doing. I still run ProDRENALIN at the end though, because even this isn't 100% solid. So the ProDRENALIN cleans up just that last little bit of shake and whatnot from the wind or anything. You want to spend a bunch of time though balancing your props on these. That's going to be the #1 enemy to create vibration and screw up your video.
Now, John, can the pilot see the video that is being captured with the GoPro once the thing's in the air?
You know, this GoPro does have a Wi-Fi feature that it'll down feed to your smartphone, but I don't believe it's really recommended that you turn that Wi-Fi on the GoPro on and take that down feed. Plus, you got a 2 or 3 second latency, so it's kind of behind what's happening. You could get in trouble. There are FPV solutions that you can use. You could mount another camera on here that actually will feed down to either goggles or an LCD screen, and then you can get into the exciting world of FPV, first-person view. DJI is also releasing a product that'll be out of the box FPV capable. So now we're going to do a little test hop with a slightly more advanced multi-copter, the DJI Phantom. This one pretty much to the core is intended to help you get an aerial shot with a GoPro. So there's a lot more going on than when I was flying that 450 clone. the flight controller in that has some pretty cool algorithms to kind of take you out of the picture as far as if I just touch a stick, it's not really going to respond. It tries to dampen everything out and keep everything very gradual, so you get those nice flowing, sweeping shots. You can fly 2 modes on this out of the box. GPS, where it actually, when you release the sticks, it'll try to hold in a pretty small area and just hold right there. Or attitude mode, which gives you a little more freedom to roam around, and when you release the sticks, it'll slowly come to a stop and maintain position. This also has a return to home feature, that if I got really crazy and flew it way the heck out there, when it couldn't hear this transmitter anymore, it's supposed to come back to me, and I believe it'll do it, but I haven't tested it. So let's put this up in the air. You arm the props, you run up the throttle. And I'm flying this in attitude mode now, so the wind's going to have a little bit of an effect on it. It's pretty easy to hold this one. It's got some great lights on the bottom for orientation. They're even visible in daylight. You can fly this thing at night because of those lights. They really help you keep the orientation. The red stripes on the front of the arms, that tells you that that's the forward direction on the aircraft. Yeah, the wind's bouncing this one a little bit. That gimbal will take a lot of that right out, and ProDRENALIN will take most of the rest of that out. See that gimbal doing its thing there.
Well, there you have it. I hope you learned some interesting new things about how to not only pilot a drone, but shoot some video on it. John, thanks a lot for your time today. Really appreciate it.
Enjoyed it. Anytime.
John's got a blog on ProDRENALIN.com. Please do check it out, and let us know if you have any questions. We'll be sure we get them answered for you, okay? Thanks a lot.
Go.
Hello world, it's Bob Dumoulin from ProDad. With me today is RV, I flipped.